Imagine waking up one morning and sensing deep in your chest that the world has crossed a point it can't return from. Not because of war headlines, not because of political chaos, but because something feels different, heavier, almost coordinated.
The government has retrieved at least 2 different alien species, and that one of them made contact with the crash retrieval team. What does that mean? Does that mean it was alive when they...
I don't give a fuck anymore.
When they captured it?
One of the intelligence officials in the film speaks about an event that happened on a U.S. military base where 2 UAP approached the base, one of them landed, and apparently non-human beings exited the craft and interacted with members of the Air Force and the CIA.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
You should be scared, but you're the wrong kind of scared, okay? Fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. There is more. This is not it. I'm aware of that. That's why I've chosen to be on the side of goodness and truth, no matter what the cost is. I've picked my side. I don't care about any of you. I can't wait to read your articles after this, okay? That's breakfast for me. That inspires me now. Can't wait to read your loony tweets. I can't wait for you to lie about things that I've said. I cannot wait, because you know what? On a hike that Charlie and I were on in Wyoming one time, we were discussing the death penalty. Like, he was asking, like, what's your position on the death penalty? And I told him, I've always been against it. And typically that's a theological conversation. Christians go back and forth on it. Do you have a right to take a life? I'm on the side that, no, we don't have a right to take a life. But my position on it isn't even entirely theological. I said to Charlie, the reason I'm against it is because death is easy. You're here and then you're not. It's like falling asleep, right? You're here 1 second and then you're not. Think about passing out or fainting. People that commit grave evil and we're giving them death, that's it? Yeah. I always say they deserve more than that. And for people that are involved, the many people that are involved in this, not the lone shooter, at different stages, people that are involved, people that know things, that are watching this, maybe in an office cubicle and know things. I want you to know that if you choose not to come clean, you are about to become very famous, okay? I am talking like through the ages famous, the kind of fame that most people cannot even comprehend. I cannot comprehend that level of fame.
People have been sold the idea that freedom is the ultimate thing in life. Most people want communities, families, and security, but we've supplanted. We go, freedom. You can have all the jobs or none of the jobs. You can do whatever you want and live wherever you want. You can invest in anything you want. Isn't it great? You can deliver food and you can Uber and have an OnlyFans and a blog and a podcast. You can do it all. You're a media entity. You are who you've been waiting for. You have all the freedom in the world, but none of the security, none of the benefits. We've given you all the freedom, all the pretend freedom that you wouldn't know what to do with, and it's not designed for you to actually use. It is strange, but we've given you freedom and we've taken everything else away. We're a scam-based economy. Do I love the Trump crypto shit? Absolutely not. I love some of his new tech friends. We know how I feel. I'm not going to be the ad nauseum guy that annoys everybody with it. But I'm telling you right now, we're selling you freedom, but we're not really selling you freedom. The word we're selling you is chaos. You're mistaking freedom for chaos. You think that you are free to do anything you want, but you're free to gamble. You're free to hedge your bets.
Say, like, in the long term, where will things end up? Long term, I don't know what long term is. Maybe it's 10, 20 years, something like that. For me, that's long term. My prediction is that work will be optional.
Optional?
Optional. So...
We'll take that.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be like playing sports or a video game or something like that. If you want to work, in the same way, like you can go to the store and just buy some vegetables, or you could grow vegetables in your backyard. It's much harder to grow vegetables in your backyard, but some people still do it because they like growing vegetables. That will be what work is like, optional. It's kind of interesting. And my guess is, if you go out long enough, assuming there's a continued improvement in AI and robotics, which this seems likely, the money will stop being relevant at some point in the future. Currency becomes irrelevant. But AI and humanoid robots will actually eliminate poverty. And Tesla won't be the only one that makes them. I think Tesla will pioneer this, but there will be many other companies that make humanoid robots. But there is only basically one way to make everyone wealthy, and that is AI and robotics.
On the AI issue, look, I understand why people are worried that, if you have a robot doing that job, does it take away from a blue-collar worker who can do that job? Right now, the evidence that I see is that if we really lean into robotics and technology, it's going to raise everybody's wages and make everybody better off. The example that I often give is of bank tellers. If you go back to when the automated teller machine was invented, everybody said it was going to destroy the jobs of all the bank tellers. What actually happened is that today you have more people working in bank telling than you did 50 years ago. They're doing different jobs. They're not just handing people money, they're doing different jobs, but they have higher wages. So sometimes what technology does is it allows somebody to do something a little bit different, to use their mind a little bit more than some of the rote tasks they might have been doing, and that actually means they're more productive, they get better wages, and everybody becomes better off.
Disorder, confusion. That's what we mean by freedom, a manic attempt to survive. Your spiritual life, your emotional well-being, your mental health, your sexual health, all of these things are suffering because you're scrambling to survive and put money in your bank account. But we've convinced you that that's an actual great state of being. That insanity, that mania is great. We've sold it to you as Americana.
There's no such thing as an American anymore. No Hispanics, no Japanese, no blacks, no whites, no nothing. It's just rich people and poor people.
What you're doing is not magic.
So I would describe it as a subset of magic. I do magic of the mind. I no longer need to... See how when I look there, you look there? That's the number one thing you learn in magic, misdirection. When you make an elephant appear or disappear, the elephant was always there. The elephant didn't really vanish into thin air. We all know that. I made you look in the place I want you to look by using skills. When you take magic to a higher and higher level, you start to get rid of all the props.
You said, I like putting words in people's heads.
Yep.
How do you do that?
How you're gonna think is shockingly under my control. It's almost like the way a puppet gets moved around. Certain moments where you're right now about to change your mind and I move you in another direction, you don't realize that you're about to do something, but that your mind works in a certain way.
I know you said your goal is to not creep people out.
Right.
But I gotta tell you, what you just said is pretty creepy.
Right.
Under my control, like a puppet.
Sure. The moment I lose control is the moment the trick falls apart.
Come back! How tall are you? Oh my god. Hello, my name's Dee. Where'd you go? Hi. Dude, guys, look how big his eyes are. Hold on. It's a dog, man. No. What's that down there? Hello? Hi. What's that? Don't sneak up on me. Huh? He took off running. What are you doing? Don't leave.
A few moments later.
Oh my god, it just slipped in my car. Stop it! It won't let go! My god! Let go!
Say that I didn't see anything without really talking to me and investigating it.
They know something.
Rock and roll.
The deliberate attempt to contact the spirit of a deceased person is known as a seance.
Hey.
I have a skill you might like.
What the fuck?
Want to try it? Chee-hee! 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 Chee-hee!
Hello? Oh my God!
There was the internet bubble in 2000, housing in 2008. Are we in another bubble, an AI bubble or something like that?
I think it's hard to say we're not in a bubble of some sort. The question is always, when is the bubble going to pop?
One symptom of a bubble is when the market goes up and up, but the underlying economy, the real economy, goes soft.
Right.
And that appears to be happening right now.
I would argue to you that the economy is being propped up almost artificially by the artificial intelligence boom. There are hundreds of billions of dollars that are being invested today in artificial intelligence. This is either a gold rush or a sugar rush. And we probably won't know for a couple of years which one it is.
What you should do is you should honeypot whoever it is that's controlling your destiny, that's giving you a hard time. Honeypot them, set them up, and then blackmail them. That's what I would do. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else to tell you. Get a picture of them cheating on their wife. Get a picture of them doing something that they're not supposed to be doing. I mean, if they're going to play hardball and they're going to make your life miserable, be clever. Get them in a pinch. And so they've got something to lose, and maybe they'll come correct. I don't know what else to say. I mean, when seniority comes in those places and you're the junior guy, man, they can make your life hell, and they do.
I think the basic technology is going to take place on the internet. I think the specific platform in the emerging world is going to be on a cell phone platform. If you look at the numbers, there are about 360 million, about 150 million online desktop-based accounts today. That number is projected to grow to about 350 million in the next 5 years. However, with respect to cell phones, internet-enabled cell phones are just getting rolled out right now. They already have some significant penetration in Japan, in Finland, in Sweden. They're getting rolled out in Western Europe, the US next year. The numbers are projected to grow from about 10 million internet-enabled cell phones today to about 1 billion in 5 years. In 5 years from now, everybody who is a member of the middle class in the emerging world and in the developed world will have an internet-enabled cell phone. And this sort of a cell, in China, the number is projected to go to something like 300 million cell phones, most of which will be internet-enabled. These people will have access to their bank accounts, and it will be very easy for them to move money into an account in a safe jurisdiction where the banks are not politically controlled, and they will basically be able to completely dollarize the economy. There will be no need to have any rubles or renminbi, and it will be non-traceable. No matter how illegal the Chinese Communist government says it is to hold US dollars, you will have a password on your cell phone, and the only way to stop this process would be literally to shut down the telecommunications network. And that's the kind of choice governments like China, India, some of these other countries are going to face. They will either have to shut down the telecommunications network and make it illegal for you to own a cell phone, or they will have to basically give up the kind of monetary sovereignty they've had and the enormous power that they've been able to wield as a result of this kind of sovereignty over the last many, many years. And I think this process is already full-fledged. The dollarization worldwide is going to be accelerated enormously by the technology. Now, the second theme is a little bit more speculative, and that is that getting rid of money altogether, going from digital dollars, from any kind of government-backed currency to purely private currencies. And what a private currency, or what private money I think fundamentally means, is that there is no medium of exchange. You exchange value for value, rather than exchanging value for something the government says has value for value. The kind of model that I think is the most likely to take place is one where you have other kinds of financial instruments that are very, very liquid. The one I would cite in the US would be something like an index on the S&P 500. Or some sort of generalized stock market index, where instead of having currency as being the place where you have value, it is in real property, real companies, things that actually have real value. And so that you might conduct business by trading, not dollars, but trading little slivers of the S&P 500, or of particularly large stocks like Microsoft or something like that. My guess is that it might be the whole stock market as a whole, and that as you trade these things, that's where you have the kind that becomes in effect a de facto currency. Now, this is still pretty far-fetched.
So it's super cool.
The people at the Pentagon who say it's demons. Tell them that story. Tell them about the demons.
Yeah,
it's Halloween. Yes. Tell them about the demons. What is that, Dan? Go into that.
So in the film, one of the senior intelligence officials named Jay Stratton, he was the director of Air and Space Warfare at the Defense Intelligence Agency, and then he ran the U.S. government's UAP task force. He tells a story about how he was trying to run this issue up the flagpole and bring attention to it.
At the Pentagon.
At the Pentagon, in a serious office space. And his superiors told him that they thought these things were demons and that he was doing the devil's work by looking into it. And on camera in the film, he says, I can't believe these words were coming out of their mouths. He's like, I'm briefing them on an advanced aerospace vehicle that's absolutely there. It's been spotted by trained observers like our Navy fighter pilots in their $80 million airplanes that we trust them with, right? It's been spotted on data collection systems like satellite and radar. And this guy's telling me it's a demon. It's insane. And he's like, my mind was blown, and this is something I'm dealing with inside of the government.
It's Halloween. Let me just ask the final question for the panel. Do you think demons and the devil are real?
Absolutely. I'm a Bible-believing Christian. I definitely, and I believe those could be fallen angels.
All these things could be real.
Fallen angels?
Yeah, fallen
The aliens are fallen angels.
That's possible. I think that's what they could be. That's what makes sense in my worldview.
Michael?
No. Don't laugh. There's nothing funny going on here. This is about your life and mine.
Yes, thank you for doing this. Yeah, thank you for having me. I wanted to meet you. I've heard about you.
You know, I was home. Could you please give us your name? Jeffrey Epstein.
Look, I'm not.
You would prefer the human race to endure, right? You're hesitant.
Yeah, well,
Yes?
I don't know. I would. It's really humiliating to be shaking a cup 24 hours a day and people just look at you like you some kind of little bum, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I have had people to walk past me and say, get a job, bum. And I said, wait a minute, I'm not a bum, I'm a human being. And it's hard. But after the end of the day, when people go home and everybody get on the metro train and then and then I just feel so bad that I can't be going on, you know. I'm sorry. But it's really emotional because I'm really trying to get myself together and get off this tree, you know. And I don't care what it's doing. If I can get a job and through this humility, you know, I mean, you just lose all your humility when you're shaking a cook begging. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can look at a person and tell if they give you respect or not. You know what I mean? A lot of people look at you like you're just a piece of crumbs. You know, I had one guy walk past me and talk about me so bad, and then I just looked at him. I said, God bless you, sir. He walked past and went down the street, come right back. And he said, you know what, man, I had a bad day. He said, I'm sorry for even calling you that. He said, because I know you're a human being. He said, would you accept my apology? I said, apology accepted. He went in his pocket and gave me $30 and said, go get you a room and get you something to eat.
If any of these family photos, if any of your activities online, if your purchases, if your associations, if your friends are in any way different from what the government or the powers that be of the moment would like them to be, you're no longer able to purchase train tickets. You're no longer able to board an airplane. You may not be able to get a passport. You may not be eligible for a job. You might not be able to work for the government. All of these things are increasingly being created and programmed and decided by algorithms. And those algorithms are fueled by precisely the innocent data that our devices are creating all of the time, constantly, invisibly, quietly, right now. Our devices are casting all of these records that we do not see being created, that in aggregate seem very innocent. You were at Starbucks at this time. You went to the hospital afterwards. You spent a long time at the hospital. After you left the hospital, you made a phone call. You made a phone call to your mother. You talked to her until the middle of the night. The hospital was an oncology clinic. Even if you can't see the content of these communications, the activity records, what the government calls metadata, which they argue they do not need a warrant to collect.
Just have some administrative matters first. I wanted to introduce into the record page 55 from the committee's interview with FBI employee Roya Demlow, who you just spoke about, which took place on July 17, 2023. In that line, she says, the question was asked, okay, if someone were to leave here today, were to leave this interview and were to suggest or imply that when you said the laptop was real, that it meant that the FBI had affirmatively determined in October 2020 that the laptop belonged to Hunter Biden, that the contents belonged to Hunter Biden, and that the contents had not been manipulated in some way, would they be representing what you said, correct? Answer by Ms. Demlow. They would be representing what I said because I don't have much knowledge of that. They would be misrepresenting what I said because I don't have much knowledge of that. Because this committee likes to misrepresent or leave off complete sentences of what individuals said, I'd like to introduce this into the record. Objection. Thank you.